Welcome, thank you for tuning in to NeptuneKnives. So this is not a regular video. I thought I would do a series now on my project of modifying my M3. So you can see here I'm at ALLGERMANAUTO. I've been using these guys now on all my cars actually for quite a few years, and they were recommended to me directly by BMW and Dynon. And so ever since, I've enjoyed their service, their company, and the owner himself is a off-road race car driver, and I think prior to that he had done traditional race car driving. So it's a lot of expertise and it's a lot of friendly people, so I want to make a shout out to them. One of the main components to safety, especially in the side impact, is your airbag system. So I want to discuss how that pertains and connects to having racing seats installed. From my experience using the Lotus, I do prefer a more simplistic, I don't want all these multifunctional seats, and if you're one of those individuals who like that minimalism and simplicity, then I think you will also understand. But one of the most important things that was prominent to me was that I also want to carry a passenger with me, and especially a loved one. When they're sitting in the passenger seat, I want to know how taking out that seat would affect the airbag system. And so I went through quite a lot of calling, trying to go through mechanics to BMW directly, and I can tell you right now, if you do the same, you're not going to get an answer. They're going to dodge you. Mechanics will tell you two different things, and the corporate side is going to tell you that they can't tell you because it's something that they don't want to be liable for. The airbag system, when I looked it up, it is all connected, so when there's a flaw in one, your airbag light goes on. But the issue here is not that. Like, the other airbags will still deploy. The default obviously is not for all your airbags to not function. That would be pretty illogical programming, and I would agree that that is probably true. But in terms of the passenger front airbag going off, the seat sensor is designed when a child or a child seat of some sort is in that seat and present. At that point, the purpose of that then sensor is to, I say, register that when someone doesn't weigh as much, they don't want it's unsafe for the front airbag to deploy. So without that sensor, then the default would be that side airbag won't deploy, because let's say, for example, it was a child sitting there. So knowing that, for example, in my personal seat, I actually had the sensor taken out of the stock seat and put back into this seat. Now, unfortunately, with sensors, they are, they're mapped to, the cushion, the thickness of the cushion, all those things come into factor. So for example, right now, doing what I did is costly because you had to have a tailor open up this, both seats, transfer it over, and hooking it up is as simple as just connecting the connectors. That sensor's in there, but right now, let's say for example, a person has to weigh probably at least 120 plus. Like a lot of girls again the seat, and they don't register the airbag, but a male will. So if that's something to consider for you, also you can save some money and still have your safety. If you are a little bit heavier, there are women who weigh more than 130, and that's fine. The second issue with the airbag system is that the traditional BMW seats have a side here airbag. So the seat itself has one, which obviously weighs a lot, so if you're trying to save weight. Is it necessary that that seat airbag? A lot of these cars mainly just have a curtain airbag, which this car has. And so the seat one isn't necessary, but the issue here will again be that without that airbag, there will be a fault in the system. That can be remedied by having an electrical component installed that will kind of register as if it was there. But there are seats that have an airbag system, such as Recaro perhaps offers one. I think BMW's own performance seat has an option where you can then replace the stock seats for a more performance-oriented seat, but it won't cause any issues with the airbag system. You literally just swap the seats. But again, those have a little bit more additional weight. So long as a person's aware that without that sensor, this front airbag won't deploy in an accident. So it's very important for whoever passengers you have that sensor is present. I already explained has some issues then, not as precise as it should be. I would have to buy a brand new sensor and kind of have them reset up the scaling of how much weight is necessary. And then also I have a chip that kind of takes the place then of the airbag that used to be here, so the system doesn't have a fault. Those are just some of the issues you can encounter when you're modifying your seats. The driver's seat is pretty simple. just put that sensor, that chip that registers that there's an airbag in the seat, and then the driver's seat airbag always deploys, so there's no sensor in the actual cushion. So it's much simpler. So that's an option some people do to avoid the complexity. They may actually just opt to switch the driver's seat and keep the passenger seat stock. So that's also something to consider. Regardless of our enthusiasm, it's important that safety always be there, and especially if we're not on a track and we're in public roads and public places, you want to make sure that you have all your safety systems. For those of you who are interested in cars, I hope this video was informative. Thank you.